Hi, Katya Woods Cup of Soul Show. How are you today?
Hey, Kathia, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Excellent. Let's talk about this documentary. I love swimming, I love the water, but I have a respect for certain boundaries. What drew you to this subject matter? Because it's not like, something that the everyday man knows about deep diving, and particularly the two main subjects of your documentary.
Yeah, I didn't know, the very start of this, I had to Google what is free diving as well. I swim in the sea kind of all year round in Ireland. I just have a real respect, a real admiration for the sea. It gives me an awful lot as well. And I suppose any story that has anything to do with the sea, I'm always drawn to it. Whereas when I kind of looked in, I read about Stephen and Alessia in the Irish Times, and um it was like finding out that there was a group of people that were able to fly, and like I didn't know about it. Like watching them under swimming underwater, you know, uh, for 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes, holding their breath. They just like they were much more like dolphins or seals. I'd never seen anybody do anything like this. So that obviously hooked me immediately. But then it was really learning about Stephen and Alessia, the types of people they were. Alessia is a champion free diver, Stephen, an expert safety diver. And seeing how they lived their lives and how their lives kind of slowly came together and were almost like woven together by people around them, and then what they would go on to do once they did meet was just absolutely incredible. And it really was inspirational for me as well. I just thought like these people are living their lives in a way that I haven't been brave enough to do. So yeah, it just took me from the very start.
I think let's talk a little bit about obviously, there's something about both of these individuals out of the water, excuse me, that is like they were searching for something, a sense of belonging, and this just happens to encompass that. Can you talk about that too? Because I feel like a lot of times we think people that like to do extreme sports are people that don't care about living, they don't care about life, they're just daredevils. And I found through your documentary, you did a really good job of showing them as people, that this wasn't about people that didn't care about living, that don't care about their health, that type of thing. Can you help talk about helping to dissolve that disclaimer?
Yeah, I suppose like one thing that is very clear to me is that like, everybody wants to go home and have their dinner in the evening, and that's everyone's intention. And with free diving, they're super that they mitigate risk wherever they can, and they're super serious about the safety of the divers, the free divers, the photographers, everybody in the water. And I suppose what free diving like it's 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 um it's more like there's something kind of spiritual about it. The idea of when you quoting Christoph from the film that like once you put your head in the water, all the shit from daily life just fades away, and the deeper down you go, the smaller you become, and the more kind of like aware of the universe around you, like that speck of the idea of the speck of dust. That you are just like a speck of dust in this massive universe, and it gives you like this amazing sense of perspective. And also like you have to be like very meditative. Like your heart rate lowers the deeper down you go, and it's to that like of a Tibetan monk. It's a very meditative experience, and you have to be super kind of like in control of that and of your mind and what you're thinking about as you descend. And so it is a very mindful experience, and it's kind of transcending, a lot of what we even think that we can do as human beings. And also there's an incredible trust amongst the athletes and the safety divers. The athlete is completely putting their life in the safety diver's hands. Every dive that they take, they're trusting that that person will be able to bring them back to the surface, back to air, back to life, back to their family, if they get into trouble. And that creates this like the ultimate trust exercise, it creates this bond and this trust among them. And it makes them quite humble also, that it's a massive team effort that goes into kind of pushing this human limit.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with me today. And I really enjoyed the film. And I hope people look at it and learn more than, to know that the ocean is big. I mean? There's much more to the people that do this type of work. And look up both of these individuals because they're in themselves have very unique stories.
So nice talking to you. Thanks a million.
You're welcome.